Let's see how this goes then. Roll. Oh, I rolled a 1. Oh, well, there it is. Yeah, no. I got a 3 for my first attempt.
You go and you throw it a couple times into the river, and it keeps catching. It's keep getting pulled down the river. At one point, you throw it, you miss. You try to pull it back, and it seems that you have indeed lassoed something, but it's at the bottom of the river.
Leon, strong boy, help me.
I'm trying to read through my spells, see if there's anything I can do to help this out.
Okay, I'm gonna roll on D&D Beyond real quick. Mark, did you say it was strength or athletics?
For this right here, since you're gonna try and pull it out of the river, this is gonna be. We'll just do strength. Actually, fuck it. No, sorry. Do athletics. Give yourself an extra bonus if you can.
Devil has come to carry me.
It's gonna be a 10.
Swinging by the river.
Yeah. You pull, and your initial pull isn't very successful, and you're like, okay. You dig in your fucking legs, you go and pull with all your might, and you come falling backwards as the lasso breaks free, and you found that it had lashed itself onto some seaweed at the bottom. Well,
Can I
not
determine the
seaweed,
grade
but,
of
like,
the seaweed?
not seaweed, but like
River
bottom
moss.
growth.
Yeah.
No.
It is a vintage green.
So with that, I take a indication. I'm like, does anybody have more rope? Because I'm using my rope.
Let me look.
Got rope.
Let me see here. Torch or spellbook.
Yeah, you can have my rope.
I'm just gonna tie something and try to throw it
I do
myself.
not have any. Wait, hold on. What's this? Yes, I have rope. I have 50 feet of rope.
Okay, well, Torak already offered the rope, so I will take Torak's rope,
Too slow.
combine, and try again, increasing my length of the rope.
We could do.
Real quick, Leon, what'd you do?
I threw my own rope. I rolled an 18 with a dexterity check.
Okay.
So
And I pulled
we're
out
good.
with an athletics check.
Well, you didn't. You didn't roll survival to make it into a lasso, so you just yeeted that fucking rope expertly at the
Hell
fucking branch.
yes, I did. There we
It
go.
definitely touched that branch.
Yep, I can do this. All right, guys, give me 3 seconds. I'm gonna make a knot real quick.
As he's making a knot, Ryan, what are you doing?
I'm doing this. I'm like, as I watch him do it, I'm like taking the rope from Torak, and I start kind of putting it together.
I tie a super shitty knot with a 6.
I kind of watch him do his thing,
Yeah.
and then I kind of stand next to him on the shore, and then I throw mine next.
Yeah, you go in with your knot, you go and you throw it a few times, and it's like maybe once out of like 5 throws it actually cinches.
I'm gonna throw mine anyway.
Okay. Oh, Ryan said he went first, so Ryan, go ahead and now that you have a longer rope, go ahead and do a dexterity check. Just a normal one without disadvantage.
14.
14. All right. Yeah, that's enough. You go ahead and you reach out and are able to connect onto the target. With a little finessing and whatnot, you're able to, like, you're kind of like taking the rope and like jostling a little bit to the left, jostling a little bit to right, and you get the rope to kind of cinch down finally over on top of the log.
Okay.
Real quick, so as you're doing it, fucking Leon's also doing it. So Leon, go ahead and roll a dex.
I already
you're
rolled
using
a second 18.
Why he's rolling it and not in disadvantage?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta roll it with disadvantage, buddy.
Is it disadvantage? Okay.
Yeah, because you're only using probably at this point a 45-foot rope.
There we go, 6.
Yeah, you go ahead and you yeet your shit across the fucking river, and it just fucking keeps falling short right into the river. And a matter of fact, you actually get your rope caught too.
At this point, I kind of look at him. I hand him my rope. Do you take? It's like, hey,
No.
No.
No, I take it, but I frown.
You take it. Hey, look, you made
But
it.
you frown.
I kind of clap my hands. And I'm like, look, you made it.
Wait, I have an idea,
Oh,
and it's kind of. Mark, if I use my breath attack on the water, can I freeze it?
No.
No. All right.
If you had shape water, that'd be a different equation.
So athletics check then.
All right. Well, I
what
take.
are you doing with your rope now?
Ryan gave me the rope.
Okay. So what are you doing with the rope that he gave it to you?
Now we have to pull, right?
Well, we have to tie it to the boat first, bud.
Well then here, take your shit bag.
All right. Well, I just wanted to make sure you were happy.
I'm not happy. This whole
With that, I
experience
go
has
to the
been
boat,
fucking
the
terrible.
raft, and I start getting it ready
Okay.
to do the combo wombo with Genesis to get us on the other side.
Sure. And I'll just carry over your survival check from before and say, sure, you know how to tie a knot to that's secure enough. Leon, your fucking rope is still stuck at the bottom of the river. Dude, you
I
just
dropped
leaving
that
the rope-
shit. I just throw it in there.
Okay, cool.
Chuck it in
Go
the river.
ahead and subtract the rope from your inventory. If you go, you just sacrifice your rope to the river.
To the river god.
Fuck it. I'm done. I don't care.
All right.
Okay. So rope secured to the branch, rope secured to the ship. Do you guys all load up onto the raft, or?
Yeah, I get on the raft.
Since it concerned Leon, do a history check for me.
Do I get it? Is it older than 300 years?
No.
No.
Also, you're in a different plane of existence. I don't know if that really pertains here.
2.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
not 1. Not 1.
Word. You're good to go.
Yep. All right. Let's go. Let's do it.
Cool. So as you guys start loading onto the little raft, all 5 of you get onto it, and you start noticing that the raft starts sinking.
Could I
What?
freeze the raft?
Wait, why? Okay. I quickly investigate the raft to find out why it's sinking.
Because there's 5 of us on it.
I vote. One of us gets off.
Ugh.
Eight-
Well,
I'll hop
shit.
off and stay on the shore.
18. Is that in fact the reason why it's sinking? Because all of us
That
are
is
on
in
it.
fact the reason.
Okay.
Ah.
Well,
Also, that
last
Well, then I
time-
guess we'll have to
Mission.
do a little.
Well,
Yeah,
last
shouldn't this thing
time-
hold us?
Well, last time Leon was in the water help pushing us, remember?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of, I don't know, can we do something along those lines again? Or are we doing multiple trips here?
Wait, so I
I'll
have
just
a boogie
hop off
board.
and wait
I
here.
have a giant fucking boogie board.
Yeah, you used it as like a giant as boogie board. You pushed
let's
You're
just
go.
kind
in
of.
the water and you pushed
Go.
it.
I'll be the boogie board guy again. Let's go.
All right, same formation, except this time Genesis is adding his wind powers to it.
All right, sounds great.
Airbending slice.
Leon,
Easy there,
make
Sokka.
Leon, make a strength check for me.
Strength or athletics?
Strength.
All right. Where is the dice? 19.
So, since Leon's in the water, who's going to be working the rope to get it towards the branch?
Who's working the shaft?
Yeah, you got it.
I guess since it was my,
Yeah, it was your idea. You go for it. I believe in
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Yeah. 14.
Wonderful. So, you guys will pile onto the thing. Leon is holding on, and Genesis starts working his gust magic into the sails. As he's working his magic, sure enough, the sails catch wind, and it starts pushing very effortlessly across the stream.
Epic.
Genesis and Harness through communication go and, like he says, ease up on the gust, and you ease up a little bit as Harness is able to pull onto the slack and pull it closer towards the branch and the rocks. Leon, as you get past the initial rocks, these ones over here, your feet can no longer start to be a little bit harder, and you actually start sinking down. And by the time that you guys get close enough to the branch, your feet can no longer touch the bottom, and so you're basically at this point holding on rather well to the raft.
Cool.
Yeah, we made it.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
Woo!
Yay.
Team effort.
Team effort right there, right?
And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you just go and tie off the raft to where it's gonna be there and not float away.
Yeesh.
Making
Um,
sure that the rope is secure
Normally you
on
do
both
athletics, but
ends.
I'm just gonna carry over your strength check and say that you pass on climbing up out into the raft, and you guys have done enough checks. I'll say that you all climb up perfectly fine onto this platform. So once you're up onto this area, is a small little grassy area, cliff face here. There is water here to the right, but you notice it is significantly calmer than everything you've experienced, and you guys deduce that you could quite easily walk right through it, no problem.
Oh, cool. In that case, just gonna throw it on over. Yeah.
Bloosh.
Walk on over. Yeah. I'm gonna stick my head in here, and I'm going to just peek in, like a little bit, not give away my position, and see what I can see in there.
All right, go ahead and do a perception check for me, sir.
Okay, perception. Where are you? Perception. There you are. I got an 8.
Okay. It's very dark in there, so you can't see much. However, the pungent smell of oil still doesn't escape.
All right. I think I have a spell
Precipitation.
Yes, thank you.
Precipitation.
Oh,
yeah,
prestidigitation.
yeah, that
Yeah, it's
one.
a long ass thing, and I create a little ball of light with it, and shoot over there, see if I can increase my vision.
Does it work that way?
I mean,
Yeah, I can instantly create an instantaneous harmless sensor effect, or I can do an instantaneous light or snuff out a candle.
Where's the snuff out a candle?
Or I
You
can make a
simultaneously
torch or
light
a
or
small
snuff out.
campfire. I can just
Let
light
me-
shit up.
But yeah, but if it's you need something, so you need a candle, you need a torch, you need a campfire in order to light or snuff it out.
okay, well the Genesis.
Stop.
What did you see anything? Because I think I saw you try to cast a spell. Did it work?
No, I was still getting used to my magic here. I was trying to make a little ball of light
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
like
see
you
if I could
can
see more, because
create,
it's dark as hell in there, but the scent of oil is thick.
you can
Okay.
create like, little light shows and stuff, but it's completely harmless. Like you can't, it won't actually give off enough light to see anything.
Well, that's when I make the small little lights in my hands. Like I can easily make the lights, but if it's the same thing as last time, I think like, do we just want to burn it just for the hell of it, or do we?
Well, yeah, I think
Or
I would
actually-
do the same thing, but I'd want to make sure the enemy is actually all in there, because if they're
All
not,
right. Well, then how about this, Torvak?
Yeah, do you want me to
And-
turn on my my light hammer as I lift up my hammer and just cast light on it?
I mean, like last time you guys you did want me to do the light thing. I thought you guys could see in the dark.
Oh,
I can
yes,
zoom.
I can
I
do that as well.
you go.
I deactivate light on my hammer and
Real quick, whenever she does that, Ernest,
Mhm.
you notice it has the same shining brightness as Sunny D, and it fills you back with warm memories of Sunny D.
No.
Sunny D.
so anyway, I extinguish my
My
light,
magical
walk inside the
hammer.
cave, and
Okay.
I roll a 21 for perception with dark
Alright.
vision.
With dark vision, yeah. So you obviously there's rock in the middle, so you can't see anything back there. But as you enter the cave and you start taking a look around, you're not necessarily being stealthy, so you're kind of kicking up and sloshing water around, and that's enough to have a few eyes open up and glare at you from the light that's shining behind you. Like the light is catching in their eyes as they open it and look at you.
How many do I see?
From where you're standing, you see about 4.
And can I tell that this cave is also coated in oil or not?
Oh yeah, like you can. Yeah, you absolutely can see. Tell that it's covered in oil. It's pungent.
I walk back out.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
What'd you see?
So there's at least 4 of them in there, and we could absolutely light it on fire again, so long as we are all standing way out here, and preferably in the water because water does not burn.
Okay.
With that,
in that case,
I get
I
behind this
will.
rock and I'm like, fire the hole, and I hold my ears.
All right, I'll go ahead and cast a firebolt into the cave and blow them up. Since we've
Wonderful.
confirmed there's enemies in there.
I'm not gonna have you roll for it. You go ahead and throw a firebolt right into the room. It goes a little further back. You don't ignite it right next to you, but it hits the back. It immediately fire, and you see that a few of the boggles in there are like immediately like oh and incinerate right in front of you. As you do that, though, while most of the boggles go and scream and immediately perish, you hear a very low rumbling roar of someone much larger than a normal boggle suffering further in the back.
Oh. Shit. Well, good thing we learned from our mistakes, right, guys? We probably just saved ourselves a lot of trouble with that.
I mean, can we just? Is it just a large roar, or is there like a?
I'm assuming something is dying in there because I can hear something screaming.
All right
much
then.
bigger than a
Is
boggle.
there any way you can tell if it's like? It's
Better
not like
not be
a
a
person,
dragon.
is it?
Do an insight check. That'd be
All of
you,
us,
Ryan.
or just Ryan?
Well, no, there's no sense in having literally everybody do the exact same check. So I say that whoever
I
brings it
rolled
up
I
does
rolled
the
a
check.
4. I rolled a 4.
You're a little further back, and with the pounding of the waterfall, it was a little hard to tell. All you can make out was that there was, in fact, something different.
Here, I'll do an insight check then, since I'm technically closer.
I would not allow that.
Aww.
It was Ryan's
I got
idea. Ryan does the
12.
check.
All right, fine.
Okay. Well, how long does the fire burn for?
Oh, it's raging right now.
All right then.
It's like you were passed out for when the fire was last
Right.
time.
Well, guys, do we want to stay and wait until the fire stops to check and make sure the job is done, or are we going to call it good and just leave?
Well, we could. I mean, I can't. If it's anything like the last cave, I doubt anything inside has survived, short of it being resistant to fire or a dragon. But it's good to be thorough and make sure the job's done. So yeah, I say we wait until it's all cleared out. Maybe we can get some loot in there that's not, turned to charcoal and ash.
I mean, our pathway home kind of relies on our efficacy of getting this mission done, so I agree with you, FNG. We should make sure that it's done proper.
Alrighty then.
All right, then
Let's
we'll
see.
just sit here for a little bit until it's all ready to go. We'll just wait.
All right.
Could I wander
So-
over here and peek into the old cave and see if I can still see the flames?
Go ahead and do a perception check.
That's gonna be a big fat 2.
Big fat
Unfortunately, thanks to the waterfall, it is obscuring your vision in there. Yeah, you can't see anything.
All right,
After-
so I am going to do the Witcher thing and get down on my knees, and I'm going to enter rest mode to speed up the time.
Okay.
All right. Well, actually, after about 5 minutes, I would like to poke my head into the small cave and see if I hear any more
Yeah, I got you. So-
critters. So
You guys go ahead and set it on fire. You hear the loud grumbling roar. You guys talk amongst yourselves. You decide to wait it out. I'm assuming you guys aren't in the waterfall anymore. You guys all came back up here.
Correct.
So
Yeah, it
during
came
that
back.
we're all standing.
Yeah.
Probably keeping a watch out on the waterfall in case something comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Since Genesis was the one who was actually in there and actually heard the roar, go ahead and do a perception check for me, sir.
Yes, I will. All right, come on. High 20s. High 20s. Come on. Yep. 14.
Okay. So faintly you hear like grumbling and roars and like some slight suffering. And after a while, it's like you think you still hear it, but it's hard to tell thanks to the waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
And probably you guys wait there for a good 5-10-ish minutes. And we'll say that at this point is when Harness decides to go check.
All right. Yes, I would like to go check.
Well, Ernest, the noise
Well-
has died down a bit.
All right. Well, let's take a look inside, and I actually will enter the waterfall if need be, as long as clearly if it's safe and there's nothing gonna burn me as soon as I walk there.
So you go ahead and you walk through the waterfall, and you notice as you go and go right through the waterfall, it's dark as can be back in here again.
Gotcha. With that, I instantly cast my dancing lights.
Okay.
To illuminate the area, I fling them out into the cavern to all corners.
Excellent. You go ahead and fling out your dancing lights. They immediately illuminate the room. Instead of oil, you now smell burning, specifically burning flesh. And in a few parts, I'm going to go ahead. I see where your dancing lights are. I'm going to move your dice real quick.
I'm gonna.
So you see, like over in this area, it seems that a lot of where the boggles were tried to rush out of the exit, and they were back here. So this is about as far as they got before they perished.
Ate it.
Yeah. Well, damn it. Dang. To your surprise, there is something significantly larger, and you only see a hand sticking out behind this rock, and it too is lifeless on the ground.
Okay.
The hand itself is a little hard to make out, but you can tell that the palm of his hand is about the size of your head.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's a goblin champion.
So with that, I instantly, when I was taking in the flesh of the burning flesh smell, I cover my mouth and nose with my whatever clothing I have. I'm assuming I got this cool little trench coat going on, just like this character. So I covered that up, and I would like to take a step closer in and see if I can inspect the larger monster to see if I know what it is.
He would be over this way.
Okay. Well, then I'll get here.
Cool. You go ahead and I'm just carry. You already did a perception check, right?
No, I did not.
You did not? Okay, go ahead and do a perception, or I'll let you do perception or insight.
Okay. Let's see. I'll do an insight then. Wow, I'm not rolling too good today. 5.
Wow, that's actually
All right.
pretty low for you, bro.
You come around the corner, and
play
this
some live
large creature, you go and take a look at it. It's face down, even though there's shiny light on there. He's so like kind of infused with oil that he almost masks in with the blend, the oil that's already on the ground. So the most you can tell is that it's a very large humanoid figure.
Okay. With that, I will actually take a step back out to the cave. I'll leave my lights on for a second. And at the edge of the waterfall, I'm like, everything's to be down, but there was a larger creature back here. I couldn't figure out what it was though.
Well, let's go take a look. It's dead, right?
It looks pretty dead.
I would hope so. I doubt anything could really survive in there. Wait, never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, shut
I
up.
mean, we did.
And so with that,
I go in with them.
I move aside so my companions and I kind of just sit on the edge right here, maintaining the lights. Like if you guys need me to move them, just let me know and I'll move them around for you.
Oh, this is a useful spell. I should learn it. All right, so I
I
want.
mean,
to
I can do it
inspect the future.
too, and I turn my hammer back on again with light.
You do that. Your little hammer shines bright and true.
I
I'm
just
like,
wanna
no,
be an
that's
ass about
cool,
it.
but then I would like to can you do this? And I start to make my lights look like they're dancing.
Wait,
All right,
Dad,
nobody
Rooker,
likes
can I
a
use
show off, Ernest.
precipitation to turn his lights off like that?
That'd be rude.
I'm just saying.
That
it'd
would be
kinda
rude,
funny, but-
FNG. That would be quite rude.
Metagaming here, if I was a player, as soon as you moved your lights around, I would be like, "Oh, fairies!" and start trying to kill them.
All right, so
Alright, anyway.
I'm inspecting the body. So perception or
Yeah, so you're coming around and you want to take a look at the body. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a perception check.
okay. God damn it! I'm rolling 13.
13. All right.
That's
Not
better.
bad.
Is it a goblin
You're-
champion?
It is not a goblin champion.
It is a goblin lord.
Sure, let's go
Probably-
ahead and waste your perception check. So I'm guessing on what it is.
Okay, sorry.
No, so unlike the boggles that you guys have been fighting before, this does not appear to be the same as a boggle. Instead, it kind of has the appearance more of like a humanoid ogre kind of thing. Though it still is infused with the same oil affinity as the boggles were. Whatever it was, you can tell with your perception check that it is in fact dead as dicks.
Good. I killed the boss. Triple points for me.
Yes.
If only
Not-
we were working.
If
via
only we were doing it
experience.
that way. All right.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
the guy's
quick
dead.
question, what
Do you guys see any like? Do I see any like items that have not been destroyed? Because I'm assuming there's nothing of value here, considering these guys live in filth.
I mean, that's a different perception check.
Can I do that then?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll roll for that. 14, 1 point higher than before.
Wonderful. You're kind of you're kind of grossed out to like look at the ogre, but you still go ahead and do a visual examination of him, and you notice that he does in fact have like this weird dagger kind of in his other hand. So not the one that was forward that Ryan saw, but in his other hand there was some kind of dagger. And then further back into the cave, you do see something glimmering in the corner.
All right, so I'm gonna reach over and take the dagger. Yeah,
Cool.
right there. And where's the glowing?
Back here.
Guys, there's something shimmering over on the end of the cave here. Let's go
with
check
that,
it out.
And with that, I'm like, all right, and I move my lights directly in the direction to help make sure he sees clearly.
Yeah, it's
Can I
you
see
already
it
got one over
clearly?
there. Yeah, so you go and look over there, and you see it's not very grand, but there is a small treasure pile. Though again, the Feywild does not deal in gold and currency, and they go trading. So it's actually a small variety of items that have various worth.
Okay.
So
Yep,
since you're
I
there, let's
picked
go
it
ahead
up.
and break. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and break it down for you. So there is a silver necklace.
Ooh, silver necklace. Who wants a silver necklace?
There is an assortment of silverware, though it seems that there is a couple utensils missing.
Hmm,
Though
trying
you
to
can
get a full
tell
set.
you can tell that they're very nice, so you can probably still hawk them if you want.
Okay.
Let's see. There is a small gemstone. Let's go ahead and roll and see what it is.
Is it green, red, blue, or
That's
purple?
what we're rolling. That's what we're rolling for right now. It's an amethyst.
An
Ooh,
amethyst.
fancy.
So that's purple.
So it's a purple. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have the power stone.
Sure.
No.
Cool.
Um,
Let me just take that right there and put that on my hand.
And then finally, there is a small little leather pouch that's sitting in there. And once you open it and dump it out, you find yourself a very, very nice set of dice.
Oh, cool. Now we can play games. All right. So I put everything inside of little pouches here. And then I'm going to bring it back out to the guys. All right, guys. We got a few items in here. Let's see if anybody wants this. Maybe we can trade it for some more information or some medical supplies back in town.
Good
For
idea.
that, I walk back out. Excuse me, Harness. What's up, Birdman? Back to the raft.
I love how you keep calling him Birdman, even though he's technically not a fucking bird right now.
He will
know,
be
like, he's-
Birdman forever to me. He will be Birdman forever.
You're
You
just
may have
mad
changed
because
form,
I'm
but
still
that
calling you
doesn't
FNG.
mean you aren't the same person.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we collect our things and
So, are you guys done here?
Yeah,
Uh,
actually.
Would you like to do anything else?
in this cave, no. But I would ask like Leon, Rooker, did you guys check the other cave?
I did not.
Do you think we should check the other cave?
We probably should. I mean, we found some decent loot here. Who knows
I've
what we
been
might
trying
find out.
to.
I'll go first, and can
Okay.
somebody like have my back?
Yes, I shall go with you, since I'm pretty sure I have the most health right now.
All right, sounds good.
All right, let's go.
And we
Fuck,
go.
no,
And I basically just act like a meat shield.
Well, do you shield them from the torrent?
I'm trying to.
Okay. Both of you make athletics checks for me. Because you're on a very high rocks and you're gonna jump down.
Within that 20, I pick him up and just jump down.
Genesis,
Okay.
still roll an athletics check for me.
Yeah, sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad just came to talk to me. So.
Dave, roll an athletics check for Daniel.
All right, I will roll an athletics check here.
No, let Dave do it. It'll probably get you a nat 20.
I got a 7.
All right. You both jump down. Leon, you go and jump down expertly, and you brace the torrent perfectly fine. Real quick, metagame. I'm gonna put you right about here because you're not in the waterfall yet.
I did
Genesis,
steal
you land
that.
right behind him. However, when you land on some slippery rocks and immediately lose your footing.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
So
So
disappointing.
let me think.
Do I fall on my ass or do I catch myself?
Well, you're absolutely falling on your ass, and you're actually starting to get swept away by the current. So Leon's
Yeah!
gonna have to try and grab you here. I'm just trying to think, what would I use for reflexes?
Do I notice?
With a 25, sure, you're a fucking champ. You notice.
Smile and wave. Smile and wave.
Okay, let me look at someone's character sheet.
That's my fucking champ there, man.
Leon, let's have you do a sleight of hand check.
It'll be a 4, Hermano.
4 total?
Yep.
Wonderful. Yeah, so you land and you see Genesis start getting swept away. You go and you reach out to grab him, but he's a little too wily in the rapids. What
Can I
do
use
you
the
do?
wind to brace myself and push myself towards him?
Currently, you're underwater.
God damn it. Why didn't I learn water bending?
So Leon, what do you do?
I cursed myself for throwing my rope in the water earlier, and then I swim after him.
All right, wonderful. Carrying over with your athletics check, yeah, you can go and embrace the water. This time, go ahead and make a strength check.
It's a big old 10.
That's fine. You go ahead and brace yourself, and you grab onto his cloak. And poor Genesis is kind of whipping around a little bit, but he's at least on the top of the water now as he gains a breath of air and is not floating down the river anymore.
Thank you. Thanks, Leon. Lost
Yep.
my footing there.
Are you gonna pull him? Are you gonna pull him in, or are you just gonna walk forward?
I'm just drowning here, man.
Oh, I'm waterboarding him currently. All right. Yeah. No,
well,
I'm gonna.
Yeah, but currently, he's kind of like he's kind of bobbing up and down.
Yeah, I'm gonna save him.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, with the strength check, you go ahead and you pull on his cloak and bring him in. And currently set him up right, and he's like, okay.
Thank you. Okay, no slippery rocks. Damn it. I think I just drank about
Wonderful.
half the river there.
With his assistance, you guys go ahead and go into the waterfall and inspect the cave.
Okay.
Do either one of you have night or dark vision?
I do not. At least I don't think so. It's under
Nope.
actions, right?
Okay. Do you guys have a way to light up the area?
I got a torch.
Dope.
Dope.
See, I'm metagame here real quick and say, Genesis, this is a perfect time to use prestidigitation to light his torch.
Oh, okay. I snap my
Por
fingers,
favor.
and his torch lights up.
Oh, that happens.
Grazie.
You guys go ahead and enter into the cave. It's still quite a mess. You guys see drag marks in where oil and dirt separate from when people got dragged out of here, and plenty of dead boggles at the entrance.
Okay. We're gonna move in right here, and we're gonna do a perception check to check around, see if we see anything shiny.
Okay, since Leon's helping you, go ahead. He's going to take the help action, so do perception with advantage.
Okay, so I just press that once.
We'll do it twice and take the higher of the two.
Oh, okay. 8.
Dope. Yeah,
Oh,
you guys go
okay.
ahead and walk around the cave, and you take a look around. There is nothing shiny kind of popping out towards you guys at this point.
Okay.
Nothing
What about
shiny,
the-
nothing really of value. Once you guys
Well-
get back there, you kind of see like there's some pile of bones where it's like the boggles had gone and taken local wildlife and killed it to eat and whatnot. But for the most part, there's nothing really of value here.
All right. Well, I guess this cave wasn't the treasure trove we thought it was gonna be. But at least we checked to find out. All right. I guess we should head back to the others, huh, Leon?
Yep, that's fair.
All right. Let's go.
You guys go ahead and head back out and see your party waiting for you up on the cliff above you.
Yeesh.
I'm getting the raft ready for us to try to get across the river again.
Eh.
I mean, how are you getting up there, Genesis?
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I'm
Can I
gonna
let him
learn a
climb on me?
levitation thing.
Like use.
Climb up on you? Yeah, sure. Let's do this.
Sure.
Yeah, like I'll brace the rocks, and then you can use me like a ladder to get up.
All right.
He.
Get your hands ready here. Here we go. 1.
All right. Is he kind
Two.
of like sitting on your shoulders, or is he just clinging onto you?
I imagine he was gonna be putting his hands down like that, and I
So,
put
like,
my foot in his
I
hands.
figure-
Oh, you're giving him a boost.
I figure I'm bracing on the rocks, and he would be climbing up my shoulders.
Oh, then yeah, I'll do
I
that.
see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. So, Genesis, do an athletics check with advantage.
Okay. $16 it is.
Oh, you with the assistance of Leon, you go and climb right up, and once you're pretty much past Leon, you see an easy spot to grab and pull yourself up to where Rooker is.
Okay. Yeah.
And Leon, you're just a normal athletics.
Meh.
Can I reach down and grab him to help pick him up?
Sure.
No
Yeah.
need. I expertly squat thrust my way out of the water.
Okay. I
What'd you
expertly.
do?
Fucking Leon with his
25?
nat 20s today.
Yeah, you go ahead and you go and get into like a little bit of a squat, power leap up. You're about halfway over there. And at that point, you just grab onto a couple things and kind of almost acrobatically fucking yeet yourself up to the fucking top.
Well, shit.
We'll say he was such a Chad. He got up higher than you did. All right. So the party's all back together, back on the ton. Hernus said he was getting the raft ready.
Yes.
Knowing from the direction that you guys came, it would be a different path, but you could probably just let loose the lasso on the branch and take the raft down the river.
Yeah.
Going down the river.
And as we're going down the river, I will take the rope that Torak gave me and unfuse our 2 ropes and hand back Torak's half.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Oh my Lord, carry me home. We're floating down the river.
It's still not enough to carry all 4 of you, but I'm not gonna make you roll for a check. So I'll just say someone hangs off the side as the raft carries you guys down the rest of the way.
It'll be me.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys go ahead and jump on the raft and float down the river. After it's much quicker than walking, and probably any time you guys get close to like the side of the river, maybe trying to crash, Genesis uses his gust to go and do a little on the sails and kind of push it to the side and left, and is able to keep you guys from crashing into anything.
Oh, my
You
spells
guys-
are way more useful than I thought.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and float all the way down, and eventually the river starts calming down and stops propelling you right about the time that you guys get near that tree, the giant material plane tree.
All right. Land ahoy, boys!
And recalling your map, you know at this point that it's probably has to go on foot from this point.
Well, at this point, I think we should just stick to the map and journey back to the end.
All right, let's tie off the boat and docking. Kill them sails, Harness.
I look at Genesis. I'm like, there's no sails.
Oh, sorry. Sorry,
Well,
just
there is.
always wanted to sail a boat.
Guessed in spirit. I'm like, okay. In spirit, I'm like, lowering sail. I mean, trimming up sails.
All right.
I say
I
laying
shake my
anchor
head
as
at
I put
you.
my feet on the bottom of the river and slowly pull the raft to a stop.
Yeah, you guys is easily go and bring it up to shore near the little world, or not the little, but the world tree. Daniel or Genesis is living out his pirate captain fantasies as he's going and commanding you guys, and you play along and go ahead and bring the little raft to shore properly.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay, and what do you guys do from here?
Well, we
Back to the tavern.
bust out that map and start heading back to the
All right.
tavern.
Using the map, you're going to be backtracking, and I'm assuming you're going to have your guide from the wilderness take the lead again.
Mhm.
So, Tovrak, go ahead and make survival check with advantage because you're just backtracking at this point.
Yay! Are you fucking shitting me?
Lol. Yeah, so you guys go ahead and you start trekking back towards the tavern. And Tovrak has the map out and is saying, okay, if we go over this way, yes, I remember this bush, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, after a while, though, Tovrak, you're starting to look around and realizing, wait, I don't recognize these woods here. I don't recognize that. Oh, fuck.
Can I
And you
get a
at this
little
point, you
help
have
with the
lost.
map?
Yes, at this point, you have gone off
Oh,
course.
shit. What the fuck?
What the fuck did you just do over there?
Nothing. Wait a minute.
Sounded like you opened a chest and then there was like 40 million dice on the table.
I can see Mark's little cursor judging me.
Okay, so Tovrak
His
looks at the
little
party
cursor's
and
coming over and just paused, and he's like,
Tovrak looks
done.
at the party and says, "Hey, can someone help me with this?"
With that, I come on up and I'm like, yeah, let me take a look at that. And I look at the map. And
Survival.
Uh,
got a 15.
Looking at the map,
Well, at least one of us didn't forget where we are when we died.
When we died.
Looking at the map, the area that you're currently in doesn't really recollect anything on the map. However, you recall that maybe about 20 minutes ago is about where this area looks like. So if you backtrack 20 minutes and kind of correct a little bit more east, that you should probably be all right.
I'll be right back.
It looked like we overshot, guys. But I believe right here on the map we can go right there, and that will get us back on track. So
Okay. So you guys go ahead and follow what Hernus instructs, and sure enough, you guys come out of the woods with the inn greeting you right off the road.
Yay!
kind of start heading towards the end.
Okay. You head into the inn, and a couple of the patrons that were there before are still there, kind of mulling about. There are a few new faces, what appears to be another traveling party, a small group of minstrels that are sitting in the corner. And as you guys come in, you see Quincy from the bar hail you and says, "Hello, friends. Welcome back to Quincy's Tavern. How did it go?"
Mournfully greet. Hello, Quincy. Actually,
Terribly.
it's done. It is definitely done. So you won't have to worry about those little guys any longer.
He kind of like tilts his head. He's like, "Oh, okay. Did a little bit of trouble along the road?"
Yep.
It's
Yep.
a story,
back.
my friend.
Would I very much like to hear it sometime if you care to tell.
No, you wouldn't.
He's like,
That's why I
We
said that.
blew up.
I look at,
Some things are better left unsaid.
We
I
blew
kind of look
up.
at Quincy. I'm like, I suggest. I'm like, later.
he goes and looks at, oh, okay. So the boggles are taken care of, I assume?
Yes.
Yes.
As
In
smoke
fact-
comes out of my mouth.
I mean, that was a long time to hold in smoke there, buddy. But yes, including there was something even larger inside too. By the way.
Quincy raises his eyebrow and he's like, can you describe it?
You know what a goblin champion looks like? It looked a lot like that.
He looks at you inquisitively. Goblin champion?
I think you mean more of a large ogre, but it had the same kind of body oiliness of the actual little guys too. It just
He
seemed like almost like a larger version of them.
Yeah, he smiles warmly. He's like, and that right there lets me know that you did do the job.
Oh, so you knew about that thing?
Well, of course. They've been troubling our tavern. Of course I knew about them.
Well, I don't
Wait,
remember
but
you
you
telling me
only-
about a big baddie in there.
Yeah, you only told us about the bogles.
Only the
Well, it
tiny
is-
ones.
It is a boggle.
Oh?
He goes and smiles. He's like, but it doesn't matter. The thing's dead. So, I
It
believe
kind
payment
of
is in order.
Matters.
Does
I
it?
believe it matters.
Does it?
Yeah, it
Well,
kind of
if I
does.
see one again.
That's like telling us that we're going after a tiny little dog and it turns out to be a bear.
Or blink dog.
He didn't actually tell us what size they were to begin with, guys.
He goes and points at Ernest and he's like, and that's correct. Boggles come in different sizes. I didn't think it was important to tell you what sizes they were.
I'm hurt this boy. I'm hurt this boy.
But anyway, he goes and looks at you. He's like, I believe payment is in order.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yes, I told you I would have you meet an acquaintance to tell you about the material plane.
Mish.
Now, are you going to be staying here long, or could you want to be interested in boarding for the night?
Yeah, I could definitely board for the night. How about you guys?
Yes.
The
that would
night
be
for sure, though.
fantastic.
I truly have no idea how long we will be here.
Okay, let me tell you this. He's like, he looks at you all over and he says, "It looks like that you had a rough time with the Buggles, and that's perfectly fine. I appreciate you doing it for me. So I'll tell you what." He goes and opens a drawer underneath the bar and whips out a key. It's old, rusted, two-pronged, and says, "This is the key to my special rooms. This is up in the observatory, up above the tavern. It has our warmest, nicest beds. Comfort yourselves, make yourselves at home, and I'll get the preparations prepared for the acquaintance to arrive."
Thank you, Quincy. I
And he
take
goes,
the key.
yeah, and as he hands you the key, and he's like, "And obviously, this is part of the payment."
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
He goes and nods, and he's like, "Now, I will send word for you as soon as the preparations are ready. If you need anything else, do not hesitate to ask."
Will do. And with that, I actually kind of just go towards our rooms first. I want to check out the digs.
Okay. You go ahead and walk up one of the flight of stairs that's on one side of the room. They lead up to the second floor where there's normal rooms. All the way down the hallway, you see a staircase that spirals upwards. You ascend the spiral staircase and find yourself in the observatory that stands above Quincy's Tavern. The observatory itself is much as you would expect as far as a glass dome above you. There's this telescope that allows you to see up into the sky, but that is not the most important parts of this room. There are multiple lucrative beds that are around the room, along with a full dining table with the fanciest of furnitures, and accommodations for a full washroom, bathroom, and etc. There's
Oh,
even
that
a
sounds
small
amazing.
kitchenette in the corner. You go and look around the room, and this definitely does not fault what Quincy has said. It is probably the most lucrative rooms that you will find here in the Feywild.
Nice. So we got some nice digs.
It's definitely one of the nicer setups we've been to, besides the little village.
Metagaming here, yeah, they're probably the nicest rooms you guys have ever been in.
Well, I go and I look around and I find a bed that I find suitable and I kind of put some of my stuff like, as I'm getting like comfortable with my area.
Okay.
I go down to the next bed over and I put my staff down, take off my boots, lay down, but I pull out my spell book and see if I can really try to study it to see if I can learn any new tricks. Wink, wink.
Nice
Hinting
try.
at, did we level up?
Not yet, buddy.
Okay.
You study the fuck out of that book, and you're like, "Yep, I know this one. I know that one. I don't have that prepared, but I know that one."
So are they private rooms or are they like just one big like dormitory?
This is like one large, almost dormitory kind of experience.
Hmm.
But there's about 8 beds in this room. However,
Study the fuck out of that book.
however, each of the beds are separated enough. And there's like a little curtain rod system that you can actually like grab it and pull it around the bed so you can at least get visual privacy.
So like if I went for a wank, everyone could hear me but not see me.
Pretty much.
All
I
right,
will take a bed in
think-
the furthest corner and
I
close
think that's
my
what's gonna
curtain.
happen.
What'd you say, Mike?
I said I think that's what's gonna happen.
Okay. Ricker goes into the furthest corner, pulls his curtain back, and kind of hides away.
It finds a way.
Leon goes and, are you going to don off your armor, or are you just going for it?
So I'm still wearing the torso bits and like the pauldrons and like the forearm guards and like the I take off
Okay,
the
so you
left
just
gauntlet.
take off your okay, so you take off the left gauntlet and like a cod piece, and that's it.
Are we doing this?
I gotta be ready for
Are we
combat at any
actually
time.
doing this?
Yes, yes. I'm trying to figure out how this thing works. I haven't actually used it yet.
The fuck?
And you guys are.
It's like Rick and Morty here, man. I really
okay,
wanted to give
fine.
that insect dick a test drive.
And
I
Tobrak,
really
what do you
need
do?
technical difficulties for my stream for when weird shit like this happens.
She did.
No,
Alright,
can you not hear me?
now I can.
Oh, okay. I'm going to, I guess, take a nap for a full rest, get my spell slots back, something.
Yeesh.
I don't know, whatever I'm allowed to do right now.
Okay. So right now, you go ahead. You start resting in your bed, and you kind of like kick it, and you're chilling. Everybody goes about their business. A few
Yeah, right. We do.
Probably about 10 minutes into the rest, you guys start hearing some low grumbling.
Why are you doing
and
this?
like some tinking sounds, like clink, 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 clink,
Some
clink.
You
dragonborn
son of a
noises.
bitch. You doing this?
But other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Someone
After
must be getting it on.
after
I don't know how you found anyone to play with.
after about an hour or hour and a half or so of guys being in this room, you guys hear some scratching at the door.
Are we sure it's not the same thing?
I go to answer the door.
You go to answer the door and you see the hatchling hippogriff or griffin at the door, and he goes and kind of flutters up and he goes and like greets you, and he's like kind of like nuzzling you a little bit as he's flying.
And I will name you.
happily let
Griffin.
him do his thing.
Yeah, he goes and does it, and then he flies off a little distance from you, does like a little backflip, and then he starts. He flies down a little bit and looks at you expectingly.
Oh shoot. I'm sorry, buddy. I don't have any treats for you.
He goes, and he comes back up the stairs and kind of like comes up to like your shoe or something and starts tugging at it.
My what?
You're like a shoe.
Oh. I'm like,
So-
okay.
or if
alright,
you have,
hold on.
or if you have like
I
a
heard
shirt or
shoe.
Yeah.
a pants or or shirt or something, he starts tugging on it.
I'm like, all right. Does it look like he's trying to lead me
Yes.
anywhere? Yes. Okay. Well, with that, I'm like, all right, but what is it? What is it? And I kind of like walkfully, I go with him pretty much. I let him. I start
Okay.
following him pretty much.
You start following him. Everybody else, I'm assuming, is going to stay in the room. He goes and stops tugging on you, and he starts flying down. And he leads you back down to the main area of the tavern. Once you
Mhm.
come down, you see Quincy. He's like, good job, Coco. And he goes and starts scratching Coco's head as it flies up to him. He's like, yes. What your name? Ernest, I believe it was, right?
Yes, Quincy, what's up?
I just want to let you know that preparations are ready. Since this is kind of a spectacle, I was hoping I could join you guys in your room for a second, so you may, so I can bring about the acquaintance.
Oh, yes, to our room? Yeah, sure. Give me a moment. I'll let everyone know, and so that way they can be ready and finish
Excellent.
whatever they're doing.
Excellent. Like 10 minutes?
Seriously,
yeah.
knock on the door for
Excellent.
Tobrak.
He goes and gives you a
notice.
thumbs up, and he keeps waiting tables and stuff.
Gotcha. And with that, I go back up to the room. I walk in. I'm like, all right, guys. Quincy says that his acquaintance will be here in about 10 minutes. He's gonna come and bring him to our room. I kind of look over to the corner where Leon. We're like, so finish up whatever you're doing over there, because we're about to have guests.
Silence.
A little metagaming. I'm assuming we're back to full health now that we've rested a little bit.
Well, it's not going to be a long rest, but you guys can definitely have a short rest.
Okay, so how many points is that then? Like 3 points?
On a short
You have
rest,
to
you
roll
can spend
for
a
it.
hit die.
You have to roll for it, which I think I already used those dice, so I can't.
Where is that?
Yeah, you already
You
used
said
those.
hit die?
Let's see. Let me look at your character sheet. So you see on the top of your character sheet where it says short rest,
Mm,
it's going to be right
Yes.
above proficiency in walking. Yeah, you can click that. Um,
What are you doing, Rainer?
so during the short rest, you can,
take a short
see.
rest.
Buddy.
Yeah, you're just going to click take a short rest.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't ever get to play with that shit, so it took me a second.
And then I
You
roll
can check the
1d6.
hitbox there and roll.
Where's hitbox?
And
If
that's
you
if you
look
need
at
to
the win,
heal.
if
But
you
But
look
you're
at
at
the
max,
win,
you're at max HP right now.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, not having 6.
Oh, your character sheet says 12.
Oh, well
he hasn't
then.
updated his character sheet.
Oh, never mind then. I'll just put
Oh,
it back up to 12 then.
I just refreshed it. It's at 6.
Okay. I was about to
Okay.
say, what?
Yeah, so short rest, right above where it says take a short rest, you're gonna check mark that little box to
Okay.
roll your hit die, and then you'll hit take short rest.
It actually changes to whatever his hit die is, and then he
Oh,
rolls, and then he can take a short rest.
And then you should also check mark automatically apply healing with dice result.
Okay. So then I just roll the dice. Okay. Why the fuck is it not rolling here?
Did I tell him wrong, guys?
No, I'm like pressing the damn thing. I press short rest. I hit automatically heal with dice, and then it says
Right.
wizard hit die.
Yeah, you click it,
1d6. Yeah,
and then take short rest.
that's fine. Hold on. Dad just came in.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
So
Jeez.
I
you
figured out
guys
how to
take
do
your
it.
short rest, blah blah blah. After about there you go.
That was me, not Daniel.
Brittany did it.
Yeah, and I'm pressing it. It says confirm, and I'm like, okay, confirm. Short rest taken. You have completed a short rest. Relevant abilities have been reset. And I'm like, okay. So where's the heal?
Okay, so Daniel,
There.
Did it not pop up with 1d6 somewhere, Daniel?
Yeah, it did, and I clicked it, and nothing happened. So I was like, okay, so hit the check mark. Blah blah blah.
here, I'll share my screen
Alright,
so
let's
you
see
can
here.
see.
Yeah, I just did it for him too, and it didn't heal him.
See, I'm not
Fuck
the only
it.
one having this problem.
Fine. Go ahead. Let's see. It's a 1d6.
Mine did.
Fine.
Daniel,
Just
are you-
roll a d6, Daniel.
Okay.
Okay.
Whee!
It'd be this.
And d6. Roll.
I just
locked up.
realized
Here we
the
go.
whole
2.
time I was trying to explain how to do that, you guys couldn't hear me because I'm holding Rainer and I couldn't hit my foot pedal. Mobby.
Rip. I went ahead and applied the 2 healing to you.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So as the entire party is in there getting ready for Quincy's arrival and trying to figure out how to place a bandage on Genesis, Quincy goes ahead and comes in, and he's like, and he's got himself something in his hand that is covered, and he's like, "All right, is everybody well rested? Everything up to your standards?"
Yes,
Yeah.
Quincy. This is quite nice.
I appreciate it. I try very hard to make the observatory nice. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a fanfare, but one of my oldest and dearest friends hasn't visited in a very long time, but he can easily help us with your question. There's always something, though, that I got to make sure I prepare for him whenever he shows up. So he goes ahead and sets down what he's holding. There is a faint aroma of something delicious that he was holding in his hand. And he goes ahead and as he sits down, he pulls out this pendant and he holds it in his hand. and he starts mumbling a small chant to himself. And as he does, you guys see the thing in front of him starts illuminating purple from underneath, and slowly it comes out further and further until you see this giant summoning circle that's a bright purple coming out from underneath whatever this is. He goes and opens his hand, and you see this pendant that's of a square shape. As he keeps chanting, he goes and opens his eyes and looks and smiles as this object that was in the middle of the room goes and starts raising up into the air, and it starts circling around. As it comes up higher and higher, the cloth that was on top of it flies off from the vortex that's kind of swirling around. Let's see, who wants to do a perception check to figure out what it is?
I'll do it.
Nope, go ahead and do a perception check.
16.
The cover flies off to reveal a pan of lasagna. And as the tray goes and flies up, he goes and says, he finishes his chant very loudly, and he says, "I need a deal." And immediately, right in front of you, you guys see, "Well, hello there, Quincy! It's been a minute!"
Oh, God damn it.
Garfield, the deal's warlock.
Sorry, Bean.
He goes like, "Well, Quincy, you made me my favorite. I love this shit, man. What's going on, dude?" Quincy goes and gestures over to you guys, and Garfield looks at you guys, and he's like, "Well, shit, this is where you went."
Yeah, Garfield.
And then I facepalm very hardly and being like, "How are you involved in this?"
I mean, I look at Genesis and I'm like, how is he not involved in this?
You're
Garfield,
right.
good
What
to
was
see you
I
again.
thinking?
As you guys like looked at each other real quick to squabble, you see that Garfield's already cut out a piece of lasagna and is eating it from his bare hand. He's like, "Oh, man, it's great to see you guys too."
God damn it, Garfield.
God damn it, Garfield is usually not the greeting I get. As he goes and gets himself another
Hi.
piece.
Ugh.
Can I help you? Are you
So-
trying to leave?
Oh, God damn it.
Not surprised, actually, Garfield, that you would be the one we would call to figure out one of our dilemmas.
Hi, Bean.
Well, man,
But-
I mean, he goes and gulps down another slice of lasagna. He hands it back to Quincy. He's like, "Save the rest of that." He's like, "All right, deals aplenty. You guys need some assistance. What's going on?"
Can you know a way to get out of this world and back to the real world? Or a way to just get our original bodies back?
He looks at you guys. He's like, "Well, I mean, getting your original bodies back, you're probably not going to be able to do that unless you go back to the material plane. You feel me, dog?"
Well, yeah,
Right, but
getting your
how do
life
we
back-
get back to the material plane when we are done here?
He goes and thinks about it for a second. He's like, "Well, Quincy, this was, did you go and tell them that I would be able to tell them this?" And Quincy nods. He's like, he looks at you guys and he's like, "As you guys know, maybe Quincy didn't, but as you guys know, Garfield defies time and space.
Yeah.
So it's a lot
Right.
easier for me, buddy. However, there's a couple ways you can get back to the material plane.
Oh, good.
One of them is risky. One of them's a sure way, but it's kind of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, the way that's kind of a bitch is either A, you find yourself a wizard that can actually just open a portal to different planes of magic, which, let's be real, that's really fucking hard magic to do. Okay? 2, you can get the materials to go and create a ritual that will open a portal for you. That is, like, Quincy can probably get you the list of materials of that. Is like, that's a bitch, though. That's the bitch. The easy way, but this is where it's like the 50-50, is you die.
Excuse me?
I mean, elaborate on that, Garfield. So if we die
Okay.
too, we might Go back.
So let me clarify here. As you know, traveling to the material plane to the Feywild did some fucked up things to you guys, right? Like you don't even look like yourselves anymore.
Clearly not.
I'm getting magical vibes off of this dude when clearly he didn't know anything. He's pointing towards you, Genesis. And he's like, so clearly you guys are hella different. If you guys were able to go back to the material plane via portal, there's a chance that you might not return back as your normal selves, but instead as your Fey variant.
No, 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 I don't want that.
Well, that's the thing. Depending on how in tune you are with this form and your previous form, you might have a choice. You might have a choice of which form you wanted to keep. But at least right now, if you guys were to go back literally right in this minute, it's mostly a 50-50 toss-up.
So you're
So what-
telling me that if we wanted to go back this second, the fastest and most riskiest way would be to quote unquote kill ourselves?
Well, that's the bitch of it.
That
So-
is a bitch.
The killing part is if you die, there's a small chance that you will resurrect as your previous form back on the material plane and have no memories of this place.
And we have no guarantees of this?
That's a small chance, dog. Yeah,
Oh god damn it.
there's no guarantee on that one.
Okay, so
So to
you're
get
telling
back
me-
home, you're gonna need either a powerful fucking wizard, or you're gonna need to get ritual materials. Which I'll tell you right now, one of them in the Feywild's gonna be a bitch.
Well, yeah, I mean we know magic now, but who knows how long it would take us to get to that level of power.
Hold on, Jess. Hold on. What do you mean? Why is this one particular item so difficult?
One of the materials, dog, is currency.
Which, from what I understand, is a trading based around here. It's not really physical. It's what one perceives to be valuable.
Right.
So
But the
what would
value is all determined based on the individual.
So, are you saying whoever cast it would want a certain item that we have no idea what they would want until they tell us it?
Oh, I mean, if you found someone to just cast it, they could literally just open the portal and call it a day.
So you're
They wouldn't need to do a ritual. You guys, without knowing the spell, would need to do a ritual.
So what you're saying then is that whenever, if it comes down to us having to cast this, whenever we actually cast this, somebody has to sacrifice something that is very valuable to them in order to cast this spell.
I mean, like, tangibly, yeah. So it
So
can't
we're
be
not
just
talking like
like,
our
oh,
souls
you
or
can't
anything?
just go and say, oh, your soul, or like my left hand, or something like that. No, it has to be tangible value. So in the material plane, it would be the equivalent of about 10,000 gold.
Jesus Christ!
But once again, out here, a dusty mug could be 10,000 gold depending on who wants it. So
Right, but
I
the
guess
thing is,
it's
I
all
mean,
personal based then. It would be what we see as value.
well,
if it's the
not
ritual?
necessarily. I mean, if you see like, you know, most people can look at a dusty mug and be like, okay, even if someone really wanted that dusty mug, there's still a perceived value of that dusty mug.
Mm-hmm.
Like here, give me an example. Like, do you have something of value on you?
I pull out my ceremonial dagger and show it.
Okay.
I gotta look at your character sheet. How much did we say that was?
100 gold.
Yeah. So Garfield goes and looks at it and says, "See, now I would take a look at this and tell you it's about 100 gold."
Okay.
See. So even it's not just based on personal value, but there is technically a value of it.
He goes and taps his nose. He's like, "Yeah, there you go."
I see.
So you mean to tell me we need to find an item that's worth potentially 10,000 gold in the material world alone?
Or you
with
just
that
need to
being so
stack on a
valuable
bunch
to
of
us?
stuff.
Say what?
Or you just have a bunch of stuff that's worth a lot of money.
Ugh.
I see.
But
So
this
what
is,
you're
of course,
saying?
if you wanted to leave like right in this moment, like yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah, we
But
have
if
to
you were
kill
able to-
ourselves and run the
but
risk of
if-
not existing.
Well, yeah, if you killed yourself, then there's a pretty good chance you're just dead.
Oh god.
Well,
Or-
I know we will
which
be
is-
here for a while anyways, Garfield. We are looking for Torex Master.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
He's
true. We
like,
don't just get to leave. As nice as it would be.
Well,
Yeah, he
yeah,
goes-
but now once we complete our task, it's still gonna be a bitch to get back now.
But we don't know how long that might take.
Well,
No, we don't.
What happened to her? What happened to Tovrak's master? Why is Tovrak's master here?
So, okay, long story. You remember how the last time we saw you, we were in, that town whose name I've forgotten. My head's kind of fuzzy because I kind of
Umberhold, dog.
died. Yes, yes, we were in Umberhold. I wasn't dead when we were in Umberhold, or resurrected, or anything weird.
And-
Anyway, so we were in
Quincy looked
Umberhold,
very
and we thought
confused.
that there was a whole slave trade going on. And when you pointed me over to the Loxodon, he had, and I start searching my pockets before realizing that it didn't carry over. Oh, right. Well, anyway, he had the Mjolnir pendant that my old temple master had. And I said, "Where did you get this from? This is really strange. I have so many questions." And he was like, "Oh, I really can't help you with that. Just some guys sell me some stuff." And I was like, "Oh, that's a load of bullshit, but fine." So we thought that they were being captured into the slave trade. Then we heard that a lot of religious folks were going missing. So then we investigated the church, and then we met an Eladrin, and then the Eladrin was like, "No, it's totally cool. By the way, these are gods. They're not gods. They're butterflies now because fuck you and fuck your mind." And then he was like, "Hey, you could go into this portal, and this portal will take you to the Feywilds. And the Feywilds are like kind of crazy right now because there's like this battle between light and dark, and you know, like the good Eladrin and the bad Eladrin." And then we ended up here, and then we met some fairies, and the fairies shrunk us down and taught us some stuff, and then we got big again, and then we met Quincy, and Quincy was like, "Hey, go kill some boggles," and then the stupid fucking fuckhead over there blew us all up, and then we almost died, but the FNG resurrected us, so he's sort of not the FNG anymore, but he still kind of is, because I like making fun of him, and then we came back here after killing the boggles, and now we're here talking to you.
After that, as Torvald was explaining that, I try to find a pitcher of glass of water and pour it, and then like hand it to her.
Quincy looked incredibly confused through most of that. Started picking up a little bit when you started talking about the Feywild and like the politics behind it. Did a double take whenever you said got blown up, and then he's just sitting here going, he's just nodding his head like mouthing wow. Garfield the whole time he was just sitting there with two index fingers up to his lip, just listening to you. And he's just very contemplative. He's like, "Okay, I think I got all that. First of all," and he goes into like his he's got a little pouch on the side of his belt, so he starts digging around. He's like, "A second. What's over here? Fucking where the fuck?" He starts reaching into it, and it's like his whole arm pretty much starts going into the bag as he's digging around.
Oh yeah, I had a bag of holding too.
Oh, dude, this thing's sick, isn't it?
I really kind of miss mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
tell me about it. I missed
Okay,
my original
but,
body. I was
Well,
so
let's-
sick.
well, I'm not gonna help you with the bag of holding right now. I didn't bring
No,
me one of those.
No, that's
But,
fine. That's fine.
I do have this, and he goes and pulls out a fucking pendant that is of Mjolnir. And he goes and hands it off to you. Upon inspection, it is the exact same one that you had on the material plane.
Listen, Garfield, I know that we've kind of had our ups and downs. I was kind of distrusting of you when we first met. But and then I just give him a giant hug. Like full on like bear hug him, pick up his tabaxi cat ass, and then drop him down and step back like I didn't do anything.
He goes and struggles to breathe a little bit because he's just like wasn't expecting that. He's a little frail warlock.
He's a little frail cat.
But he does go and blush a little bit. He's like, "Oh yeah, no problem, dog. Yeah. Quincy." Quincy perks up. Yeah. Yes. And he's like, "Talking about slave trade and bringing people here. What do you know about anything of that?" And Quincy thinks hard, and he's like, "Occasionally there are unsullied that go by the tavern, and with a troop of people with them, they never stop at the tavern. They just keep going." Garfield is like raising an eyebrow, and he's like, "Eh? Is that what you're talking about?"
Yeah, that sounds
I mean,
like
actually, probably, yeah.
"Oh shit, dude. Okay, Quincy, what's up?" And Quincy goes and tries to remember as much as he can. He's like, "For the most part, there's a couple of Eladrin that usually go with them. a troll or two, and usually there's a gnoll kind of following up in the rear with a couple of blink dogs. He's known as
Wait,
the
hold
hunter.
on. The
You
hunter
guys,
is part of that?
yes.
My God.
I do think the fairies explained that to us.
I thought the wait, hold on. I thought the guy said that it was volunteer for them to come out here.
Yes,
told
they
you all-
volunteered.
No,
They
you're talking about the
volunteered.
Eladrin?
I told you all it was slavery with extra steps.
There you go. See,
You're talking about the Eladrin at the church?
Yeah.
Yes. He
No,
lied to
what he told. Meta game doing flashback sequence here. The Eladrin told you guys that they bring people to the church, and it's completely voluntary on whether or not they go into the portal or not. If they choose not to go into the portal, well, enemies of Shadowfell will still know that they know about their conflict and will remove them on the material plane. However, if they choose to go into the portal, they can then take on the Shadowfell face to face. So basically, it was like, you already know about it, so either you help us or you're going to die. But not by my hand, it's going to be by our enemy.
Can I ask Garfield for the list of items are going to be required for the ritual?
He's like, yeah, no problem. And I have to find that word pad. But he goes and gives you a list of things that you will need for the ritual. One of them is still labeled as 10,000 gold, but then he put parentheses and a couple question marks afterwards, and he's just like, that's kind of up in the air. But a lot of the other things are kind of niche things that maybe like a hag would be interested in. So like a dead crow and stuff like that.
Can I scan the list and see if maybe we have any of the items already?
You do not.
I will take said list and fold it up and put it inside my jacket pocket.
Okay.
Keep it safe.
All right. So he goes and hands you the list, and he says, "Okay, so that's what you need for the ritual. You got the Mjolnir." He thinks about it for a second. He's like, "Is there anything?" So he's like, "Obviously, I'm not really like gonna be around all the time." He's like, "Most of my dealing and wheeling happens on the material plane because that's where the most money comes from. But you guys should still have. Oh fuck, no, you came to the Feywild. You lost that pendant. Well, shit." And he goes and digs into his pouch again. And he pulls out a pendant, much like what Quincy has, where it's a pendant of a pan of lasagna.
Are you
And
giving us an ability to summon you, Garfield?
he's like, "No, this isn't to be trifled with, okay? This isn't something you could use all the time, okay? But what you can do with this pendant is, I'm not going to require the lasagna thing, you know." He says that real
Well,
quietly.
how about this? If we can, we would still try.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yeah, so go ahead. Like, this is a pendant. This is specifically to summon me. It's not guaranteed to always work. There's sometimes, interdimensional traffic, or I'm fucking busy. I'm not always going to be able to answer. Especially if you're in an area where it's like sketchy as fuck. There's probably going to be anti-magic stuff in the area that's going to prevent me from coming. But I can give you this and help you out. And so he hands whoever wants to grab it.
I will take
I'll
it.
take it.
Oh, I heard Ernest first. He go ahead and hands over to Ernest a pendant, and we're gonna call it the pendant of summoning Garfield.
Okay.
And yeah, so basically with this pendant, you can go ahead and once it's essentially it's gonna work out to where it's like once a day
Use.
we use. So essentially it's like it has one charge. You can summon Garfield, and ensuring that there's no magical traffic, or if he isn't busy or something like that, he will come to you.
Mhm.
If you use it and he doesn't show up, it still expends a charge, and it does not recharge until the dawn.
which we don't know. The sun never sets though.
Yeah, that's the issue. So you're just gonna have to track basically. You're just gonna have to try and go with the once per day kind of thing.
Gotcha. I'll do my best. All right.
If we
Actually,
summon you,
this
do you
is.
slow down time?
I mean, that's a valid question, actually.
What did you ask, Daniel?
I said, if we summon you, do you slow down time so everything freezes and then we're able to talk to you one-on-one in private?
No, I don't care about time and space. You still do.
Damn it.
So it's like I
Well,
can't
that
freeze
was gonna
time
be
for
very
you.
handy, I know it.
No, I'm not a pause menu for a video game. What are you doing?
What's a video game?
Oh, this is something you don't know about. That's
Dude,
okay.
Actually, girlfriend, I do have a question. How?
What's a video game?
No. More like your reputation. You are
Yeah, what up?
clearly known far and wide. Is like, how well are you known out in the Fey world?
Are you God?
He goes and scratches his little like scruff on the chin. He's like, with the Feywild, most people aren't very friendly here in the Feywild. A lot of them like to fuck with you and shit.
Yeah, we've
So
got
really,
a bit of a taste of that already.
yeah, I bet you have. But really, it's just Quincy here. Quincy, how old are you now? And Quincy goes and like starts counting a bit, and he's like, "We're coming up on 1,894."
And that's when I fall on my back like an anime character. 1,000 what?
And Garfield is like, "I'll tell you right now, that pendant was given to his grandfather."
Gotcha. Well, it's more of like I just don't want
But
to
the point is-
accidentally say your name and then find out that there was some
No,
old
most-
debt or something like that.
I mean that will likely happen at some point. If you threw my
Gotcha.
name around to everybody, there's definitely probably some debts out there I haven't paid yet.
I'm pretty sure that.
But for the most part, like the only real friend I have here in the Feywild is Quincy. And Quincy sometimes, whenever he has like a rare trinket or something coming through the store, he doesn't really know how to get rid of it or how much it's worth. He'll call upon me.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure. You've been extremely kind to us the whole time, and this is apparently extremely valuable gift.
Oh, darn,
No.
it won't bring my family back to life.
Nice.
Hey man, I'll be honest with you. You guys already had one, but you lost it on the way over here.
You mean that Raven Crest medallion I had?
Raven quit. I don't know about that. He thinks about it for a second. He's like, "Oh, you know what? That was probably from the well, that's probably from that fucked up village with the undead people."
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
isn't
place
there-
was weird. We don't really want to go back there or talk about it.
Yeah, there's a fucked up dude named Nilthrax over there.
Yep. Much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
lots of
pretty sure we
problems there.
got
We're
it
just
from
gonna
already, though.
glaze over that.
No, that's where I think your medallion comes from.
Medallion.
Your Raven Crest thing.
Yeah, no, the Raven Crest medallion was given to me by that legendary hero when he wanted us to make a decision with the guild.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yeah, because I
I'm
didn't take
mixing up
guild
my
bracelet.
medallions.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I gave one of you a fucking lasagna pendant, dude.
I kind of look over. I look at Leon. Leon?
I shrug.
No, one of you had it. I swear to God, I gave it to you in the guild.
You know what? Maybe Minerva had it, or Kohine.
Hey, maybe.
And then we just kind of like didn't think about it when we cleared the bodies out of the road from the giant crab.
He goes and
Listen.
shrugs. He's like, "Hey, man, that's the adventuring game, dog."
I mean, out of game. Legit, though, I do not remember anybody receiving a lasagna medallion from Garfield.
So I told him the
I
same
had-
thing, but because I
I'll
was
be
like,
honest.
when would I have put it in my notes? Like, I don't find it anywhere.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It was in my old D&D DM notes, so I can't go back and see who I gave it to.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that I gave someone in the party a lasagna pendant to summon Garfield.
I don't remember it either out of game, just so we're aware.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Leon, did your character have it?
Nope. I've
No?
taken meticulous notes. I never
All
got
we
that.
know was Tony.
Well, maybe it was Wombo then.
Yeah. It sounds like, well, Wombo was a warlock, so that would sound like a thing.
Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah, that probably would have made
Um,
sense.
he's
Okay.
like, it doesn't matter. You got one now, right?
That we do.
Yeah.
But
fuck it,
wait,
man.
we're not gonna lose this one when we go back to the material plane, right?
Oh,
does
he
that
goes and
determine-
shrugs and he says, "Well, let's be real. If like I said, it all depends on how in tune you are. So it's like right now, if you went back, there's a 50-50 chance on if you were to stay how you are or if you were to go back into your material plane bodies. But if you go and you, for lack of a better word, attune yourselves to these bodies, get some experience under your belt, really learn yourself, that gives you a better chance of getting a choice once you go back to the material plane. If you chose, gestures to Utovrak, and he's like, if you chose to stay as an Asmir, then you would probably keep the pendant if you had it on you. But if you chose to go back to being a Dragonborn, you would probably lose that pendant.
But
The Feywild's fucked, man.
This is a very confusing and terrifying place. I am starting to regret my decision.
Starting? I've been regretting our decision ever since I got into this tiny body.
Well,
You're the
Either
FNG,
way-
you don't get a say.
either way, so it sounds like your best bets are to either fulfill this ritual or to go and likely fill out your quest to go find your master. And whenever you find your master, you'll probably find someone friendly enough to go and summon a portal back to the material plane.
That's
Oh,
what I
thank
was
God.
hoping.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say necessarily that the Unsullied and the Sullied are necessarily good or evil. On first glance and first dealings, they're definitely gonna feel Unsullied will definitely feel more hostile than the Sullied will. But they all have their ulterior motives. Either way, you probably have a better chance working with someone, either the Sullied if you were willing to work out a deal, or one of the other courts.
Well, I guess we'll just see how things end up.
He looks to Quincy and he's like, fucking, is the fucking Bear King still a thing? Quincy's like, yep, still a thing. He's like, okay, well, he's kind of a prick, but he might work out something with you.
Bear King.
Yeah, well, remember
That's where we were
Bear-
going.
Remember
The
the
Bear
fairy?
King.
Bear King. Bear
Yeah,
King.
the fairy. Our fairy friends told us about him. He was
Oh, that's
actually
right.
probably the closest one.
Yeah, so you could either go there or you could go and I forget the fucking name, but the city of Starlight, it's over. Fuck. He looks at you guys and he's like, "You remember where Awakened was in the material plane? It's over there.
I do.
Yeah, go there. There's a whole city of Starlight that's over there. It's a fucking beautiful place, but that's going to be the place where you go to. And they probably would have a better chance of just teleporting you back to the material plane.
Well,
to know.
We got some kind of escape
Options.
plans. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes and kind of shrugs and he's like, "So,
But
With
let's
that being
just try
said-
not to die.
yeah." He's like, "So with that being said, I could do some deals. Otherwise, I think my business is done here."
You want to do a deal?
We don't really have any currency.
We got some minor loot that we got from that cave.
He raises an eyebrow. He's like, "What kind of minor loot?"
Well, let's take a look right now. We got myself some silverware. Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit incomplete, but still nice looking. Yeah. What do you think
He
about
looks
that?
he looks at the silverware and he looks at Quincy and he's like, "Quincy, this is probably more up your alley." Quincy takes
Okay,
a look
fine,
at it
cheapskate.
and he's like, "Yeah." Quincy's like, "Yes, these are very nice." Blah, blah, blah.
Okay, what else we got here? I think we got a. Oh, I got this nice stone right here.
Oh, the amethyst.
Yeah, sure.
Garfield takes a look at it and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, it's just an amethyst. The jewel. I could probably buy that off you if you want. I could easily hawk that in the material plane.
That doesn't give me any kind of magical items or anything. Maybe a scroll.
At this point, I'm just kind of sitting down watching like Genesis kind of like trying to negotiate with Garfield. I just kind of chuckle to myself.
He just kind of like
Yeah,
he raises an eyebrow at you and he's like, "Okay, let me take this. Well, what kind of scroll do you think this is worth?"
Oh, I don't know. Just a simple resurrection scroll.
What?
He looks at you and he's like, "Here's your amethyst back."
Okay, fine. How about the amethyst with the silverware and with this tiara?
You have a tiara?
Yeah, wasn't that
It
also in the
was
package?
nope, it was a silver necklace.
Thank you. Sorry, silver necklace.
Oh, okay. He looks at the silver necklace and he's like, "Yeah, that's pretty." So, I mean, you're still not getting a resurrection scroll. You're asking for like the upper levels of magic, like the highest pinnacle. Like you're basically saying like I want a portal home for these two items. He goes and like raises an eyebrow. He's like, does that sound right?"
Sounds right to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. See, I got some support here. That sounds perfectly fair.
I see Garfield. I got
except-
a crack team. We'll be out of here in no time.
Yeah, he's
I
like, I
sit
know
in the
you guys
corner
don't.
just shaking my head.
I'll be honest with you though, if I had a scroll that just sent you back home, if that's what you wanted, I would have given it to you. I'm not capable of that kind of magic though. But it's the same field. It's still a 9th level spell. So no, this isn't worth a resurrection scroll, buddy. Shoot lower.
Shoot lower.
Like way lower.
Excuse me,
Bro,
for having
know
high
your worth.
ambitions.
He just goes and like he's like, all right, well,
How about
technically not your strong suit, is it?
I would say with that, I kind of stand up. What about a translation scroll?
Translation. He goes and raises an eyebrow. He's like, what you need translated, bro?
Well, I don't know what we'll be facing out here. I don't know if what languages are spoken.
Ah, he goes and like points at you. He's like, that's a little better. All right, let me take a look here to do. I'm gonna look it up real quick. All right. So he goes and like picks up the necklace, picks up the amethyst, and kind of looks at them both, weighs it out. And he's like, I'll tell you what. I'm cutting myself short a little here, but I like you guys. I'll go ahead and take these 2 off your hands, and I'll give you 3 scrolls of comprehend languages.
Deal.
What?
Swiggity swag, bro! He goes and fucking the items disappear, and with a flick of his wrist, and then he swirls it the other way, and 3 scrolls appear in the air, and he kind of gestures it down into your hands.
Nice. I take them,
Oh,
and
good.
I throw them to Genesis. I'm like, you'll thank me for this later, and I hand
Ah.
it to them. Hand it to him.
Okay.
He's like, don't get me wrong, those things are handy, dude.
I don't know. I think I was wearing them down.
All right. He goes and cracks his knuckles. He's like, and with that, I think we're done here.
Once again, Garfield, we appreciate everything you do.
Hey, you guys are pretty cool. I'm just glad to help out. Best of luck on finding your master, and you know what? I feel like I'm gonna see you guys real soon.
I mean, yeah, probably. We really don't know what we're doing.
Hey, you know what? At times that makes 2 of us. And he goes over, he grabs the fucking pan of lasagna, and he's like, Quincy, it's been a fucking pleasure. Cheers, mate. And he goes and teleports right out of the air with the pan of lasagna. Quincy like shakes his head. He says, "He never returns the pan."
He never
returns the pan.
That's rough.
Why not give him a disposable one then?
That's funny.
He goes and looks at you inquisitively. Disposable?
Like a very thin metal one? Very thin, mass producible.
He kind of like thinks about it, and he's like, "Mass producible." He's like, "You give me lots to think about, Dragonborn." he goes and stands up, and he's like, "Okay, so I believe that answers your questions."
Yeah,
Well,
now we just gotta rest
It
up
definitely
and continue our journey.
gives us a direction.
At least we have options to get back now.
Okay. Well, he goes and he says, "Well, here's what I know. If you plan on taking on the Unsullied and the Sullied or some other higher power right away, you might have a little bit of issues. And I can tell that you're not quite used to your bodies yet. So, if it interests you, I have other things that need to be done in the local area. Um, give you a little bit more experience under your belts.
You mean a
And
training montage? Wink, wink.
he's just like training montage.
Oh,
I
don't
mean, it is
worry.
a form of training, but it's not necessarily a montage. I'm not quite sure what that is, I guess.
Don't pay him any attention. He's talking about our fairy friends.
Oh. He goes, okay. But if it interests you, I still have other quests and other things that could be done in the local area to go and kind of brush up your skills a little bit, I guess. Kind of, you know,
Is that Garfield or Quincy?
this is
Quincy.
Garfield's gone. This is Quincy.
What you need, my brother?
He's like, well, for right now, I think the best thing for you guys is to rest after your adventure from earlier today.
Agreed.
Maybe in the morning you go and swing by, and I'll have some things for you to do if you wish.
Then we will see you tomorrow, Quincy. I appreciate everything.
He goes and nods, and he's like, if you need anything from the kitchens, don't be afraid to ask.
And with
And he goes and
that,
walks out of the room.
I look at Rooker. So you blew us up.
Ha! Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Yep.
Let's work on safety.
Why did you do that?
Because I was under the impression it was oil, not fuel. Slow burn versus fast burn.
But yet you still didn't let us know.
I didn't even know.
I mean, the fact that you were going to even light it in general. We were covered in it. Everyone was covered in it, even if it was slow burn.
That's painful. I think the lesson we can take from this is if we're going to do a plan that potentially creates a massive amount of area of effects, whether it be an earthquake, tidal wave, flaming balls of death, we need to voice this to the rest of the group.
I tried. I couldn't get a word in edgewise. I wanted to take a sample and throw it on the wall and try that. Everybody else decided to run in.
And you could have voiced it more, or better yet, just not do it at all because of the risk of friendly fire. No pun intended. I swear to God, that was not meant to be a pun.
Regardless. Even if that was the case, you put the whole party at risk and we almost killed a couple of us. Please rethink when you do that kind of stuff. It's hard to trust someone when they almost kill us, if you know what I mean.
Got it.
All right,
I'm
now
gonna
that we've addressed the safety issues here, I think we can all move on from this.
All right. I guess the next thing is, do we want to do some of Quincy's tasks to kind of get just more accustomed to our bodies, or do we want to go straight to the potential, like, on the Bear Kings or the courts and see if we can start building a reputation with them?
Well, I'll tell you right now, as much as I would love, 100% love, to get my original body back and get the hell out of this place, 'cause I don't like this here at all. Clearly, since we could not handle a bunch of level 1 weakling monsters of this area
Level
without nearly
1.
dying, I think it would be wise to improve on ourselves and get more used to our bodies. So I vote to actually do more odd jobs and maybe practice a little more with our abilities.
I also did meet somebody that could help us if we need to.
Mm,
His name is Escanor. He's actually from the material plane.
Now that I think about it, can Garfield fight? Maybe we could summon him to help us fight.
No, Garfield won't do that.
No.
Well, I get the
Well,
impression he's this
you haven't
most
known
powerful
Garfield as
godly being here.
well. Let's just say out of everyone, you know Garfield not the least compared. Like he was at the guild with us. Apparently, him and Leon go back, but yeah, he's been around for a while, but he's never been much of a fighter. He's more of all about making, and well, it's said in his names, the deals.
Could have fooled me with all the power he seems to have. The power of the deal, it seems.
I mean, he
Fine.
has power, but he kind of doesn't really give a shit about his power. He just really wants to make deals, get a bunch of
Yeah.
gold.
Sounds like the devil. Anyway. So then I guess yeah, you got my vote. How's everyone else feel about that?
I would much prefer to work for Quincy and learn a few things. Maybe figure out how exactly this area works.
Agreed. I feel like that's a good idea. Even though I think I'm starting to get the hang of some of this, how they all make deals and stuff like personally.
Well, yeah, what about your abilities? You still
Oh.
feel confident about those?
Yeah, I'm sure they will come in time, just like with my old body. In time, it just becomes second nature.
So are you voting to just continue on with our main objectives?
No,
Or
we can
what's your
help
vote?
Quincy for a little bit. I'm just
Okay.
Leon.
How about
Rooker?
everybody else? Rooker, Leon, what's your votes?
I just want to go home. I don't want to come here in the first place.
Thank you. That's someone else who has the same feelings, however. Survival
Well,
is what we're worried about. I mean, worst case,
unfortunately,
one
we're
of us
already
dies
here.
and we're lucky enough to get home that way, but
Yeah, we're already here though, so I know we know how to get out now. So, are you saying you want to start collecting the materials first before anything else, or how do you want to get home?
don't stab
The-
yourself.
The
Not
safest
guaranteed.
way possible,
Which, in your opinion, which would be?
finding a patron wizard, maybe.
All right.
Well, then we might find him if we go talk to the Bear King.
Or gain connections via the tasks.
Make some friends.
Well, sounds like anyway, we're probably heading out in the morning. And we could just, take a little nap right now.
All right. And with that, I'm going to plop onto my bed, kick my boots off, put myself on the side, and I'm going to pass the fuck out and be like, all right, then, we'll pick this up in the morning. Good night, everybody, and do not let the ethereal bedbugs bite.
If I get bitten by a bed bug now, I'm hitting you.
Oh, please, DM, do not roll for that. Don't make us roll for bedbug bites.
I'm going to not go to bed right away, but I'm going to kind of look around the room a
I
little
hear
bit.
dice rolling, don't do it.
And
Oh, I thought the
would
dog was chewing his paws. I started looking around the room so I could yell at him.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go ahead and probably turn in for the night.
Before I turn in, though, I actually want to kind of look at a room, and I actually want to look through the telescope.
Oh, wonderful. So yeah, you go ahead and you see in the corner there's a telescope. It's a very large telescope though, so it's like you can peer through it, but it goes almost vertically straight up, and it's an observatory, so you can actually adjust the telescope to look at different parts of the sky.
Kind
So
of fiddle with it a little bit, but I try not to be too loud to interrupt anyone's sleep.
Okay, so as you're fiddling with it, you notice that you can actually turn the entire observatory. Though it's very slow, so it's not fast enough to really disturb anybody. The most interesting part about it is as you peer through the telescope, you actually see a night sky. And you go and you take your eye off of the telescope, you look up and you see it's still dawn. Or sorry, it's still dusk. You go look through the telescope again, you see a night sky. and you go back and forth, and sure enough, the telescopes allows you to see the night sky.
Interesting. Do I recognize any constellations? Any stars?
You see plenty of stars. You see, but as far as constellations, you do not. At least if there are any constellations, they do not match what they are on the material plane.
Gotcha. Well, I still enjoy looking at it and just kind of looking around. Getting used to our new digs, as it would be.
Okay. You go ahead and you play with the telescope a little bit and you keep looking around. And eventually you do see that there's a lever kind of like if you're looking towards the way you get in and out of the room, it's like kind of like the left side of that wall, and there's a little lever on the side of the wall.
I go over to the lever.
Yep.
And I pull it.
You pull the lever, and as you do, you see something that you haven't seen in a few days, and that it appears that the sky starts descending, and it actually turns night up above you. So up above you now, it's dark, and you see the night sky in a beautiful glimmer of stars.
I kind of leave it there, smile, and then that's when I go to bed. And I kind of I look at the stars as I fall asleep.
Wonderful. Right there, I'm gonna go ahead and say let's take a quick break from the session, and we'll continue here in a second.
Okay.
Yep. So let's go ahead and take like a, I don't know, let's take like a 5-10 minute break.
Just thought of something. How you doing? Like, you know who sings that song? Oh, do you know who sings? Yeah, you should keep it that way.
I was aiming for you. Hey Ryan, why would you want?
I don't know, dude. As I said, it just came to mind all of a sudden.
Number. In the figure right now?
Schoolwork will be.
When Rob said he was here, I heard Ryan not too long ago. Okay. Do you guys go to sleep? Ryan set the mood tonight, and you guys went ahead and called it. When some of you wake up in the morning, you find that above you that it is now nighttime, and you guys have absolutely no reason why.
What? Oh, fuck. Did I oversleep a whole day, or did I just not go sleep long enough? Fuck. Alright. What time is it? Is there like a clock or anything I can look around? See it?
No.
Oh, there's no clock?
Mm-mm.
Well, then I'm just gonna be. Alright, so I'm gonna step out of bed. I'm gonna check to see if the tavern's still going, see if I can get any sense of what time it is around here. So I step down the stairs.
Okay.
And what do I see downstairs? Are people around me?
You go downstairs, and there's not much in the hallway as far as the other rooms. You go down, and you do see that there's it looks like a couple of the patrons that are the usual. So the large man, the top hat, Escanor. Um, they're currently not there. There's a few other patrons that are in the tavern enjoying themselves, and you see Quincy working the counter as he always does.
Right, so I'm gonna step up to the counter, talk to Quincy here.
Ah, did you have a wonderful sleep, my friend?
Yeah, I'm still not used to the, sense of time around here. How long have we been out?
Since our conversation with Garfield, I want to say it's been a little over 8 hours.
Really? It's been 8 hours?
Oh,
Why is
you
it
had
still
a
so
long
dark
day.
out? Jesus.
Dark out. He gestures out towards the front door, and you see that it's dusk.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Good. For a second, I thought. Oh, well, never mind.
Oh, I know what happened. One of your friends must have pulled the lever. There's a lever that we have in there, because as you know, it's perpetually dusk in this area, but there's still some people who need the darkness in order to sleep. So we go ahead and added a little switch, so therefore it simulates nighttime for people who wish to sleep.
Oh, interesting feature there.
Yeah, if you go back into your room and you flip the switch on the right, it'll turn it back to normal.
Okay, maybe I'll do that later. But in the meantime, do you, do you have any jobs for us to do really quick that you need doing, or
Ah,
have you
you
seen
do
any
need work?
unsavory characters come by?
Well, how about this? Let me go ahead and look over what I have. Would you and your companions be interested in breakfast?
Yeah, I'm sure we would. I don't suppose that was covered in our reward for our last job.
Um, hmm. He thinks about it for a second. He's like, I guess it would depend on what you would want.
Of course it would. How about some what's the
You
equivalent
want
of
if
eggs
you
and
want some if you want some like biscuits and gravy again, like the biscuits and gravy, we can get you that, and that'll be complimentary. If you want something a little bit richer, shall we say, we can go ahead and that'll probably end up being a charge.
what's eggs Benedict worth? Is that a little
Um,
too richer?
no. How about this? If you want eggs Benedict, we'll go ahead and get an order of eggs Benedict, and we'll talk about it whenever I have your mission for you.
Thanks.
He goes and smiles. He's like, "I'll have it up for you in a moment."
Thanks.
And
I'll go check on everyone
the
else then.
yeah, the pans and stove and whatnot come to life with a wave, and they start cooking.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna get used to this place. All right. Well, while you get breakfast, I'll go check on everyone else and wake them
I'll
all
start
up.
making my way downstairs.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? How'd you sleep?
I'll glare at him.
Really? Really? This early in the morning?
Exactly.
I don't think you and I are ever gonna get along, Birdman.
Not with that attitude.
Says the guy hits me in the nads. Jesus. All right. Well, I got breakfast started for us, so you can get a table while I go check on everyone else. So I'm gonna walk upstairs, and I'm going to open the door. And when I do, I look for that switch Quincy was talking about, and I flip it.
You go ahead and you flip it, and the night that you see above you fades away to dusk again, and light starts shining into the room.
And I walk over to each of the companions. I go, "Hey, it's time to get up. Breakfast is on the table."
My character his eyes just kind of open up.
Yeah,
And he
you
just
still
kind of
got your
lays
8 hours
there.
of sleep. We're gonna still say you got your long rest, obviously, but you definitely stayed up a little bit later than everybody else, so you're like it's a little early for you.
Yeah, I'm like, I kind of sit there and look. I'm like, I will be down momentarily, and I roll back over.
Okay. Walk over to Leon here. Leon, buddy. Breakfast is
Huh?
ready for you.
What is it? What are we having?
Well, I ordered myself a nice eggs Benedict, but for you, I got you some biscuits and gravy.
Hey, all right. And I get up.
He's like, he gets up. All right.
You
And
fucking
now
ordered
let's
eggs
go
Benedict
back-
just for yourself.
What?
This is why he's the
That is
FNG. So
That is
rude.
definitely not what you told Quincy.
Oh, it's not?
You're
Wow,
like,
that's not-
what do you want for breakfast for your party? And you said, what about an eggs Benedict?
Oh, shit, my bad. Then he's going to be surprised when he gets down.
Yeah, I guess he will be.
I will order the biscuits and gravy for everybody and get it plates ready.
Oh, Quincy's already. As soon
Cooking,
as you
bruh.
come down, he's already cooking up a storm and making eggs Benedict for everybody.
All right, I'm going to nudge Tovrak awake and be like, hey, Tovrak, it's time to get up, man. It's breakfast.
I slowly pull the covers down from over my head, and I look at Genesis with just one eyeball. I only open one eye, and I glare it at you. And I say, do you remember when I said you were slowly working your way towards not being the FNG? You are losing your progress. Oh, hey, thanks.
Would it help to know there's breakfast on the table?
You are slowly gaining progress back.
There we
And
go,
I
see?
roll over and start making my way downstairs. Thanks.
Okay. All right, and I head back down now that I've gotten everybody up. And I'm here to try out my awesome spectral eggs Benedict here.
Rooker, when you go back downstairs and you try to order biscuits and gravy, Quincy says, "Well, I've
That's
already
weird.
started working on all this eggs Benedict for your party. Do you want to change your order?" You're muted.
No.
Okay. And he continues to work. So
At this point, I do get up and I start to get myself ready.
okay.
So, I kind of want to have eggs Benedict for real. Like, I want
So
to
I
go in
w-
the kitchen and start cooking some eggs Benedict.
Dude, I
I
want
will
biscuits
say,
and gravy
Rand,
for real. Like, I'm fucking hungry.
To get breakfast on time, you're not gonna be able to don your armor.
Well, the funny thing is that's actually what I go to start doing out of habit, and then I realize I don't wear plate mail anymore.
Yeah, that's
In
right.
fact, I'm actually like, oh, and I just throw my robes on.
Well,
And that's when everyone realizes my cod piece is still off.
Yeah. Fuck.
And Leon's just like, all right.
Well, I blocked that out of my mind when I passed you by. Like, I didn't even notice. So I'm glad.
He touches the spot on the bed and he's like,
now
it's so
downstairs
cold.
with his cod piece off.
He touches the spot on the bed and he's like, it's still cold.
Oh God.
Gross.
Oh God. Why? Why? You sick bastard.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and say that everybody went and got ready, came down. As you guys head downstairs, you see Quincy putting the final touches and giving them off to a table that Rooker had already grabbed, where he starts setting it down for everybody. And it's this beautiful
What you doing, Rainer?
eggs Benedict that has like this kind of like this light pink hollandaise that spreads all over it. There's a little bit of seasoning, blah blah blah. And he goes and calls it. He says like, "Yes, this is my fairies Benedict. I hope you enjoy. Please enjoy your meal. And in a few minutes, when I collect your dishes, I will tell you the quest that I have for you."
Yeah. Let's eat. And then I take a fork and knife and I really cut into that egg. And how good is the inside? Like, how well is this cooked? Is it just absolutely beautiful, or is like fairy dust shoot out?
No. It's actually really good. surprisingly to you, even though it's the Feywild and you might have expected something different, for the most part, it's actually just a normal eggs Benedict. It's just that the hollandaise is this pinkish hue, um, to which it has like a very faint, like very very faint flavoring of strawberries in it.
Huh. I've never
It's a,
tasted egg Benedict like this.
yeah,
I
but it's
mean, it's pretty standard, but it's got a hint of strawberry in there. It's
Mhm.
pretty tasty.
You guys go ahead and finish up your breakfast. He goes and comes over, grabs the plates, and he's like, "All right, give me a moment." He goes and throws the plates off to the side. He throws them into the sink to wash them later. And he's like, "All right, so this is what I have for you." And he goes and uh, puts down a little piece of paper, and he puts down a tooth next to it. And he's like, "Now,
Fuck.
according to one of my passerbys, they said that they encountered a wolf on the side of the road that is not that healthy." He goes and flips over the tooth, and you see that it's rotted and decayed and looks really, really bad. He's like, according to this traveler, this wolf was covered in fungal and mushrooms and decay. And she said it was not the only one that she encountered on the road. Now this is a
Metagaming
little
here, I think that's like a real life disease.
probably. Um, but she says that it's very concerning. We haven't had any experiences with that, but if that is a growing issue, there's likely a source. So he goes and points out on a map. He's like, the traveler said that she was about here, and it's about. He points off there's a little tavern. There's a bit of a road, and there's an X. And she says that the attack came from the west. So if you get to about this location on the road and go west, you might find the source of our issue. Go ahead and find out the source of the issue, cure it, plague it, whatever you must do, and then bring me back something to prove that you got the task done.
What's it pay?
And
What-
he's like, well,
What? Are
what do
we
you want?"
just we're doing favors in exchange for staying here and for food. Don't be the FNG.
He goes,
I just kind of take a
he kind of goes and
shot out of
raises
my
his.
food. Like, uh-huh.
Yeah, he
Exactly what
goes and
she's
like kind of raises his head and like looks at her Torak, and she's like, and that, and also, um, anytime that you guys might need something in the future, I can probably procure it for you.
The
Say
reward
for-
is friendship. Fucking
No,
new
he's-
guy.
Now he goes and looks at Torak. Now, for an example,
I pat Genesis in the back.
You
Now,
bet,
for
thank you.
maybe to help you with this quest, and he goes and he's got like this um small like little side belt that has a bunch of alchemy bottles in it, and he pulls out a few of them, 5 to be exact, and pants them over, and it's this red liquid in there. He's like, according to what I heard last night, you guys had a little bit of issues. Maybe some healing potions this time around would be helpful.
Yes, they would.
Quincy,
Thank
you,
Quincy.
sir, are a gentleman and a scholar.
He pats him on the table and he's like, best of luck on your mission. If there's anything else I can help you with, please let me know.
Real quick, potion. What type was it?
It's just a normal healing potion. So potion of healing.
It's a red bottle.
Something worth noting though, that on the material plane, they're like more your classic rounded healing bottles. These are just vials,
Okay, so you
So
just want
philosopher's stones.
which
a
Leon,
lesser, a potion of healing, lesser.
Leon, they're actually reminiscent of ancient healing potions, where it was like the small vial and they did a much weaker version of a normal healing potion. So it's the same size, but it actually does the full power of a healing potion.
Ooh, can I grab one?
Yeah, everybody gets one.
Okay. I tell them nothing.
Of course not.
Alrighty. Happily eat my food, and as I'm eating my food, I would like to take in my surroundings. Who here is at the inn quote unquote early in the morning.
Unfortunately, there's no real aspect of morning, evening.
That's why I said quote unquote.
But you actually notice that it seems that based on who's in here, you would probably venture to guess that it's likely night, quote unquote, for a lot of people.
Mhm.
As the man in the top hat is not there, Escanor is not there. There seem to be a couple patrons that look like they're traveling, but they're just kind of staying here for a quick rest and a quick bite to eat. But other than that, there's really no one else down here right now.
Gotcha. Alrighty then.
So just based on like how full the tavern is or the inn is right now,
Mhm.
you'd probably venture to guess that it's like, oh, this is quote unquote night.
Gotcha. So the people that are here, are they still roughly about the same kind of creatures that were here on the morning when Escanor was here?
No. So the only consistent faces that you've seen so far
Mhm.
is Escanor and the man with the top hat.
Otherwise, it's just a revolving door of just random people.
Otherwise, it's a rotating door of random people.
Gotcha. All right.
But I will say this, like, obviously, a lot of these creatures are more on the Fey side of things.
Gotcha.
So it's like you might see a table that's in the corner, and even though it's like say for example, there's a table that had fairies before.
Are any of them kind of sitting and just kind of chatting?
So right now there is actually just a couple singles. There's no party
Mhm.
or anything. So currently there is a like hooded elf person who's sitting by himself, is tinkering with some things that he's got going on. And on the other side of the room, there is this like minotaur like creature who is fidgeting with his bag and fucking with it and trying to figure out what's going on with his stuff.
Gotcha. But you said no parties. Okay. So as I finished shoveling food in my mouth, I realized, so I was too busy eating. I didn't hear. What are we doing? Something about mushrooms?
Oh, really? There's a dog out there, freaking dying of some kind of fungal disease. So we had to find the source of this and stop it.
Did he give us a direction?
Anybody else? answer that
Quincy
question?
overheard you, and he's like, "Check on the map. I marked it on the X on where exactly the attack happened, and you have to go west from there."
All right. Thank you, Quincy.
Problem.
You know
He
what?
goes back to his
Ernest, I think just you can just have the map. It didn't work out so well for me last time, so you could. I don't want this anymore. And I
Alright.
just literally just set it on the table and turn away from it.
I take the map. I
Looking
take
at
the map and
with-
I sprawl it on the table to kind of get an idea to see where Quincy marked it on the map. I'm assuming he used some form of fey magic to do it.
Oh, yeah. So not actually.
Oh.
It's actually just a normal map. He used ink and pen. But for the most part, he has the road that's right in front of the inn,
Mhm.
and it goes north to south. He goes and has the inn kind of drawn out. There's the trail that goes south, and he marked it south, and it's like, don't go this way, go north. And at some point, you see that he's drawn like a log on the left side, and on the right side, there's like a little river that gets close to the road, and that's where he's marked it with an X. And then he points an arrow saying, "Go west."
Gotcha. All right. Looks pretty self-explanatory. I roll it up and I put it in my pack. Is anything that we need to do, guys, before we go out?
Can I look at Quincy and ask if there are any? How do I want to phrase this?
If you say ladies, I'm gonna say you took care of yourself last night.
Beasts
be
beyond
the-
our abilities along the way.
He goes and he's like, well, obviously there are wild animals out there, so you should always be on the lookout for blink dogs and displacer beasts. The hunter is still out there, so you should always be cautious of the hunter.
I have a question.
But as far as like wild beast on the road, that's about it. As far as what this actual quest entails, I do not know what the source is or anything to that nature. And he looks to you, Leon. He's like, question.
These blink dogs seem
Yes.
to have special properties. Do displacer beasts as well?
Indeed.
If we were to manage to hunt down some, could we harvest them for these properties?
Leon, or not Leon, sorry. Quincy kind of like raises an eyebrow and he's like, you mean take an element of the creature to go and harness some of its power?
Yes, essentially.
If something like that were possible, it is well beyond my prowess. Now, if you wish to do something like that, we could probably find someone for you.
Would you happen to have a lead, or is it?
He thinks about it. He's like, that would
Yeah,
probably
that's
end up being. He's like, that would probably end up having to be our one of my other friends here in the patron. Maybe you've seen him, the man with the top hat.
Yeah, we've seen him, but we haven't had a chance to introduce ourselves.
He is a man who knows. If you're looking for something, he knows where to find it. His services usually doesn't come very cheap, but we can usually work it out. So if you're looking to go and take parts of this beast and go and infuse it into like a magical item or a weapon or something to that nature, he could probably find the person in order to do that.
Thank you.
Quincy nods and goes back to his work. I shouldn't say nod, he bows.
So I kind of get up and I bring the plate over to Quincy. And I put it on the counter for him to pick up.
Say, oh, thank you.
Yes. I guess I have one question for you before we head out.
Absolutely.
You said the thing was being overrun by some kind of fungus?
Indeed. So the traveler who came in here and told me about it, all she said was she was attacked by a couple wolves, and the wolves themselves looked like they were taken over by some kind of fungus.
I'm assuming this is not normal around here.
Oh, most definitely not.
Do you know if there's any expert up on the plant life around here?
Thinks about it for a second. He's like, if I were a betting man, I would probably say he points over to Tovrak and he's like, he might know a thing or two. But honestly, as far as like, that would be someone I'd have to go and find someone and call them in. It might take a day or two.
Okay, well, just keep that in mind just in case. If we're dealing with something you're not familiar with, then, I'll be careful.
Yeah, he nods. He's like, that's perfectly fair.
And
He's
then
like,
with that, I walk away. I said, thank you again, Quincy. And
he's like, thank you.
I look at the rest of the guys at the table. You guys ready to move out or what?
Yeah, hold on. Let me stuff this egg down my mouth. Okay, I'm ready to go. That's good shit.
Yeah, ready.
All right, then.
All right. I do think it's funny that we're metagaming. I do think it's funny that we're sitting here going, okay, we're ready to go. New adventure, new quest. And it's like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
Right. Which actually, it is Sunday. Did you want to call it right here?
Yeah, because I don't know how long this is going to take. So at this point, if you guys are all ready and set to go and you're going to go head out, let's go ahead and just end our session right here.
That works.
Okay.
Whee!